taking a look if the rightful teams won the finals of the FIFA World Cup 2026. So we are looking if the most efficient country won the game. In other words, the country with the most true skill. So wealth and population are the biggest factors in determining the potential that a country has to be good at anything. It doesn't determine if the country is good, it just determines the potential. However, the more potential a country has, the easier it is for them to be good. This can be applied to anything such as scientific development, manufacturing, building a sports team, anything in between. It all requires economics. Now in the US and a few other countries, a lot of youth and development sports are tied to the school systems. It shouldn't be like that, but that's the way it is. Now in the early 1900s, they figured out that the larger schools were usually outperforming the smaller schools. So they started classifying schools in different divisions based on student enrollment and a few other factors. So schools would be playing other schools that are similar size in sports. This is something obvious that needed to happen and should have happened in international sports as well. However, international sports is still living in the Stone Age. So now let's imagine all these countries here are the same size in economy. And we're going to try to analyze, this is going to be really hard with these two games, but so Spain has almost 3 times the economy of Argentina, so this is not a legitimate match. I believe Spain is ranked higher in the world FIFA rankings, just by a little bit. The world ELO rating, did I say the world ELO ratings? That's what I meant. I don't really pay attention to the FIFA rankings because they're less accurate, mathematically speaking. However, like I said, Spain is almost 3 times as big as Argentina is as far as the economy goes, so it's really hard now. Spain absolutely destroyed Argentina in this game as far as the statistics go, but that's just one game. It's a really close one. Who's more efficient? Who has more true skill per capita and per wealth? I'm going to have to say that Spain is slightly, ever so slightly more efficient than Argentina, but I could be wrong. That doesn't make me right. Now, the margins are so slight that it's really hard to say. So let's try to look at France and England, another one where it's just ever so slight. They're really ranked similarly in the World Football ELO ratings as well. I think that France actually might be minusculely more efficient than England in soccer this year. So it's really hard to tell. I think if you played this game 2 or 3 times a week for a month, I think France would probably win on aggregate. Again, this doesn't make me right. I'm just really guessing. Now that I've made some really broad guesses here, I do want to specify that these are not, at least France and England are not the most efficient. They're not in the top 4 efficient countries in the world at sports. If you go back further, like into the semifinals, or actually quarterfinals, a lot of these teams could be more efficient. I think Belgium is probably at least as efficient as England and France. Norway is definitely more efficient than England and France. I'm speaking about this year as well, not all years combined. If we go back further, we could look at Paraguay. Paraguay is probably just as efficient as Argentina, for example, but they're so tiny they don't have the brute force that Argentina is. So yeah, it's all speculation. Now I do have a ranking system. That ranks countries by efficiency. However, it's under construction right now because I'm switching from ELO ratings to open skill for more accurate ratings. So it's going to take a while before I get that back up. Then I don't have to guess anymore.